Hey Mohammed, this is Sean. Just taking a look at your action reaction scene. Um, um, my first thought was, when looking at this, is it's a little bit unclear to me from just looking at the animation what's happening. Um, because I wasn't sure if the elbow is supposed to be hitting this guy in the head, or does this arm block this arm? Um, and then I was looking at this, and then still, even with your reference, so this is one thing to keep in mind when you're choosing uh, reference, is like how clear is the reference. So when I'm frame stepping through this, what I'm seeing is he's throwing his elbow out not to punch the guy in the face, but to block um, the incoming fist. So my guess is the point of the move is to block the incoming punch, not necessarily destroy the target, but and then maybe push the target out of the way. Um, because if the guy in the blue shirt didn't know that elbow was coming, he probably would have got like slammed in the face or something. Um, and it's fast, so that's probably the point of the move. So it's not the best reference because it actually hit him in the face. I didn't know if that's what you were trying to go for, so it's a little bit unclear sort of what you're going for in the first place. But let's see if we can figure out what we can do with the animation to make it better. So this anim's 39 frames, and that's probably looks like 24 frames a second actually. That's interesting. 39 frames. That's frames per second, yeah. It's 24, that's cool. This is 24, so we can just straight up match it. So I would just go ahead and animate all the way to 39, because your animation sort of stops at 30, and it doesn't feel quite right because it just freezes. But this whole sequence here feels pretty good as a loop because it has time to settle, and this, I think it's important to have this end piece here. Then you really start feeling him push the arm back down, so his elbow is really forcing his arm back down, so the move starts to read as a more clear animation piece. So I would start there because I think your animation could be cleaned up a little bit, but structurally I think that's what's missing. um, and then what's more clear that's happening, there is a little bit of wobble going on in there, which you could clean up, but it's not too bad. The guy in the black's kind of angry and yelling, which I think is a better uh, move. Are you doing the same thing? I think you're kind of going for it, but not really. Because he's kind of going, "You son of a," I don't know what he's saying, but he's like, "I hate you. No, stop, stop." So he goes, "Stop." So he goes, if you watch his head, the guy in the black shirt, obviously, he goes, "Stop." He leans forward, and then the head doesn't move backwards, and his hips kind of catch up to the head, and then he's right as the hand touches, he's sort of stepping and anticipating the punch, and you can see the left arm move back, and he's anticipating the punch. And let's just see so there's a lot going on that's cool. And then anticipate, and then he's kind of force. He's like building force, and then slam right into the block. How many frames is that? Because it feels so fast, it's crazy. So the elbow's back, so this is when it starts flipping forward. So 22 is back, 23 is forward, 25. So 22 to 25, so that's 22. So it's 22 back, 22 is back. So 3, 4, 5, 3 frames. That's about what's going on. It's really fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe. It's pretty close. I think you're quite close on your matching. But I think what's not happening here is the chest isn't moving forward and pulling the arm back. So he's moving forward. You can see the hand disappear as the chest moves forward. So you want to figure out how to get that to happen. I also think the guy in the blue shirt, you want to have, see, I like how his fist closes. He's like getting ready to punch. I think that's cool. I think that's a cool little add to your scene, so you might want to throw that in there. Put a camera in your scene. There's a page about cameras. All you got to do is do create cameras, camera, and then position it however you want. So you get a specific angle, because based on the reference, the angle you're going for is a little bit confusing, because this looks like your reference, but the beginning of your scene looks more straight on. You know, it looks more like this, but this is not, doesn't match. You know, the two things don't match. And my guess is because when you're working with the scene, you're kind of moving the camera. So put a camera in. You might want to rework this a little bit to see if you can get it to match the reference better, because that might help you get your moves down a little bit more solid. I think all that will help the force a little bit. Adjusting the end. I think the biggest problem with this animation is not really the polish, is figuring out to your viewer, showing your viewer like what you're trying to show. Because this is not like a generic animation. What you could do, if you want to make like, you know, a little tiny little, you know, portfolio piece, is you want to probably make him actually hit his face. You know, so probably on frame like 24 is just about to hit the face, and then 25 is like is actually punching the guy in the face, and then it kind of follows through. Maybe he like steps into the face, so like maybe this elbow, maybe this elbow is more forward, you know, and then his face is more like on top of the thing. That would make this sort of start to feel a little bit more of a little animation piece and a little bit more clear what's happening. You don't have to do it that way. My concern is just watching this reference is a little hard to understand what's happening. Or maybe the point is like, maybe this guy's not a violent person. He's just trying to subdue the guy in the red. In that case, you might want to like push him away or something. Like maybe the elbow flips down, and then his right hand like gives him a push off screen or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's my thoughts on your scene. I think you did a pretty good animation. All right, dude. It's up to you if you want to rework this, take it to the next level, or just go work on the next animation. Kind of your call. But these are my thoughts, and I think at the very least, it's some helpful stuff to keep in mind as you're tackling animes in the future. All right, see you later.